Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. This is an exciting game. An exciting time. Trying to figure out now where the Skycast is. I mean, I love listening to commentary, but I'd have to... I think it's on ESPNU as the Skycast. Let me see. This is a good day. Oh, wow, that stadium's full and it's amped. So my plans for today are to live stream this game. Then what we will do is I'll react to it. I'll give an instant reaction. I'm going to go get some shawarma. There's a really good Middle Eastern place about 10 minutes away from my house. I'll get that, and then I'm going to watch the other games and react to them. I may or may not be in my studio for those later two games. Just kind of taking today to chill and recuperate, because we're going to have to go live 3 times or 1 time for 8 or 9 hours straight on January 1st. We're going to have to do that for the Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Capital One Orange Bowl. And we're also going to have to go live late on December 31st, New Year's Eve, to talk about the Cotton Bowl. So that's going to be a jam-packed day and quite possibly the busiest and most profitable day for college football with Sam. So that's going to be pretty incredible. But, yeah, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell. We're going to be doing a lot of... I do think the Skycast is on ESPN too. I keep trying to find that because that's the best possible way to get analysis, is the Skycast. They're with Pat McAfee right now. I think this is the alternative. Yeah, this is the Field Pass. This is the Field Pass with the Pat McAfee show. I don't... Might it be the SEC network? I want that Skycast. I want and need that Skycast. That's all I'm asking for. Want it, need it. Because I have the depth charts, I have all the analytics I could in front of me to talk about this game with you guys. And we're just going to have a blast. It's going to be fun. See if I can find the Skycast channel here. Okay, it says ESPNU or SEC Network. So I'm just going to keep flipping back in between those channels until I can get a good Skycast view. I'm good, Andrew. Battle of teams that whipped Notre Dame. Yeah. My goodness. Miami physically whipped Notre Dame, and it was Notre Dame's finesse that nearly let them escape. And then Notre Dame should have beaten A&M, and honestly was probably better. But Miami, A&M was just a bad matchup with Notre Dame because of the receiver talent that A&M has. Good morning, Moody Meatball. Thank you for being on here. Can't wait. This is going to be incredible. I think the biggest question here is, can A&M pass block? Can they block Miami up front? And for Miami, the biggest question is, where is Carson Beck's headspace at? Okay, now I'm going to flip back to ESPNU to see if we get the Skycast view, because it should be on now. Oh yeah, that place is rocking. That that is like, of course there are some Miami fans in there because some tickets are allotted to Miami's fans, but that is all maroon or burgundy or whatever the color is. It's all that and white. This is incredible. This is going to be such a good game, guys. Last night's game was really good, although it was really one-sided throughout. It's just both teams had such big swings that it ended up being fairly close. This game, I feel, is going to be a how do you call it? I think it's going to be a one-score game. We're picking Miami to win here. We're pretty confident in Miami being able to win. But yeah, we're pretty confident in Miami being able to win this thing. We do think that they will win, but yeah. We think they will win, but it could be very close. It could be uncomfortably close. And for all of you new viewers coming in here, stick around. We're going to be providing commentary throughout the whole game. And any streams that do broadcast this game for free, at least on YouTube, are going to be taken down. You might be able to find some other website that can, well, provide those services, but YouTube will not be the place to get them. So stick around. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. By sticking around here, you will be supporting the channel, helping us get in the algorithm. And like and subscribe if you want more quality college football analysis and content. We usually don't do this, but it's been a tradition now that for, I think, the past 3 college football playoffs, we've done a live reaction to every year except for 2022, and even then we reacted to the national title game. Every year, since every year this channel has existed, we have done reactions to the playoff games. So, live reactions. So, I think this is a tradition that I actually want to continue. Ooh, got a super chat in here. So, let me highlight this. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. User, love the show. Keep it up, mate. Got me into college football from a person who purely used to watch NFL. Any chance JMU upsets Oregon? I went there. I actually think there is a chance. I don't think JMU is live, but I think that Oregon will probably be looking a little bit ahead to Texas Tech, but there's not really a way to quantify that. So I'm just going to put that to the side. What I think is more important is the fact that it's more important that James Madison's rushing attack and run defense is analytically fantastic. That's what's more important. So what we have here is a Oregon team that can pass the ball, but that wants to run the ball, really, and wants those explosive runs. James Madison doesn't give up many explosive plays, and their defense is pretty phenomenal for a G5 unit. Offensively, James Madison's strength is the ground attack. Oregon, defensively, is great everywhere. So I think James Madison can ugly it up and keep it close, and maybe through that they win. But it's hard. I mean, I think Oregon's going to win by 2, maybe 3 scores. but there's a probably more of a chance than a lot of people think. I would not be shocked if that game was close for 2 or 3 quarters. Also would not be shocked if that was a blowout from the jump. But thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. Well, this game's about to kick off here. 60 minutes of glory, 60 minutes of greatness. These two teams have never reached the college football playoff. They have not competed for anything relating to a national championship, anything relating to a, like, really New Year's Six bowl in over 20 years. A&M did for that one Johnny Manziel year, but this is pretty phenomenal. These are two programs that really, ever since joining their new conferences, have pretty much been a joke. Miami has never won the ACC. It's actually pretty funny that Miami is going to compete for a college football national championship, and they haven't won the ACC. So, like, this is the first time they're ever going to compete for a title since joining the ACC, and yet they still haven't won their conference. For A&M, it's similar. And this is the new reality of the 12-team playoff. It's actually easier to get into the playoff than it is to win your conference. Pretty fun, pretty interesting. But A&M has the ball at their own 25. They fair caught in the back of the end zone. You got Marcel Reed out there in shotgun. They're going to do a quick screen pass, and that screen pass is going to get about a gain of 9, and that is to Mario Craver, number 1, their slot receiver. He's very small, but he is very fast, and he has had quite the year where for the Aggies, he has racked up 825 yards. Reed takes a snap quickly, overthrows his man Craver on 2nd and 1. It's going to be 3rd and 1 from their own 34. This Miami defense is one of the best in America. It's top 15 in adjusted EPA per play. When you look at yards per carry allowed, Miami is 17th. When you look at what they do in pass rush and creating havoc plays, they are 5th there. They got Ruben Bain Jr. They basically have, like, all 4 of their defensive linemen could probably play defensive tackle. Their linebackers are electric. They have Keontae Scott back and I think healthy for this game too. So that's really helpful. They're nickel. They're going to take the snap. They are going to hand it off. And I don't think he got there. I think that's going to be 4th and inches. But they might, they called it a first down. They said he got it. They might want to review that, though. And they might, especially since A&M is huddling. But we'll see. It felt like that's a 4th and inches. But we'll see if they buzz down to review it. They're going to try a quick handoff again to, I think, Amari Daniels. Le'Veon Moss, rather. And they pick up a gain of 4.5. It's going to be 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. Going to go quick tempo here. Reed looking for his man, throws it into a tight window. Mohamed Toure nearly got a paw on it. It's incomplete. 3rd and 5 from their own 40, 39-yard line. It was a risky pass by Marcel Reed. And this is something where Texas A&M is a team that needs to establish the run here because Reed, his accuracy drastically changes when it's an obvious passing down or he's getting rushed by the opposing defense compared to when he can run a balanced offense. Colin Klein, Texas A&M's offensive coordinator, is going to take the job at Kansas State to be their head coach after this year. Reed is in there with Owens. Reed is under pressure. He steps up. He's going to pick up the first down, I believe. There is a flag, though. Probably going to be a face mask, I would presume. He picked up the first down anyway. There's a flag on the play. Oh, holding, I believe. Or they just simply declined the penalty. But a penalty flag did come out there for a brief moment. Quick screen pass to Craver. Craver's tripped up and picks up maybe a foot. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 again. They've really been trying to go to Craver, and I understand why. I think he's their best receiver, certainly their most explosive receiver. They're going to hand it off to number 4. Number 4 picks up a gain of 4. So it's going to be 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and another, 3rd and medium, 3rd and manageable. Reuben Owens and Le'Veon Moss have led a Texas A&M offense that's, up there in yards per carry. A&M this year is averaging 5.22 yards per carry, which is 42nd nationally. They have a good rushing success rate. They don't allow many sacks, many pressures. It's a wonderful offensive line that they have, with Demetrius Crownover and Trey Zunn leading the group at tackle. Reed steps back on 3rd and 6. He is once again pressured. He is once again going to have to step up. He is once again going to escape and pick up a first down. Getting out past the 50 and past the 45. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of Miami. Miami is getting pressure. They only sent 3 or 4 that time, but Reed has just found ways to escape on 2 third downs now on this opening drive. Reed steps back. He does want to throw. Nice tackle there. Picked up about a gain of, I would say, 7 yards. That was a nice tackle by Miami's Xavier Lucas, true sophomore transfer at corner. It's going to be 2nd and 4 at the 36 of Miami. So now close to Randy Bond's field goal range, though it's not like A&M special teams have been spectacular this season. Number 22 is in there at running back for Texas A&M, E.J. Smith. They are going to do a quick pass that is going to go for negative yardage, though. They're trying that screen game. They've ran like 3 or 4 screens right now. They have not been very productive there. I think Miami's just trusting their front 4 to take care of the run, to take care of the pass, try to not be too aggressive. It's now 3rd and 7 at the 39, so you're not in field goal range, really. You're either going to try to make it 4th and manageable to convert it, or you're probably going to punt here, depending on the outcome. E.J. Smith is still in there at running back. Let's see if they run it, maybe try another screen. Looks like Miami might be sending a blitz. And indeed they are. E.J. Smith takes it up the middle for a gain of maybe 1 or 2. Miami defended that pretty well. It's going to be 4th and long. You could try a long field goal. You could punt it. Maybe you'll go for it. It looks like the offense is staying out on the field. I mean, at least try to get him to jump off sides, or you can go for it. I think either call here is appropriate. You're inside the 40, but not inside the 35. Big 4th down opportunity here. Someone called the timeout. And I believe it was Texas A&M who called it. Nope, Miami. Miami called their first timeout. They want Texas A&M to think about it. Corey Heatherman for Miami has commanded quite the impressive unit this year. Miami has one of the best defenses in college football, and it is the best in the ACC by quite a mile. Among all ACC teams, Miami has the best defense in the conference. They have an 84.5 efficiency score there. That's 6th nationally, 1st in the ACC. The only other ACC defenses that are inside the top 25 are Pittsburgh, Louisville, and Wake Forest. None of whom are inside the top 20, none of whom are inside the top 10, and none of those schools have the talent or blue chip ratio that Miami does. Corey Heatherman last year was the defensive coordinator at Minnesota, and at Minnesota he commanded a defense that was 11th in efficiency. So he has an impressive track record. He previously worked with Curt Cignetti at James Madison, and he was also a linebackers coach at Rutgers. So quite the rise we've seen from Corey Heatherman. And among all defenses, his unit would rank 4th in the Big Ten, 2nd in the Big 12, and 2nd in the SEC. It's a pretty impressive defense. that Corey Heatherman has led. And its strength and what it's known for is stopping the run and getting to the quarterback and relying on that defensive front, which could be one of the best in the nation. Their D-line has an argument to be the best in the nation, to really, put quarterbacks in a blender. So it's exciting. Really good stuff. And yeah, the Miami all whites are a very, very wonderful uniform combo. I'm impressed. Good uniform game. Love A&M's home uniforms. They're very slick, and those Miami road whites are pretty awesome. So A&M has had a about 5-minute drive here. They're still going to go for it on 4th and 6, which I think is the appropriate call. You're not, if you punt it here, you're not going to gain too much field position because there is that risk of a touchback. Randy Bond can't make a field goal this long because you're at your opponent's 37, 38 yard line. That would be a 59-yard field goal, 58, 59-yard field goal. Let's see what A&M does here out of the timeout from Miami. It's 4th and 6. Reed is in with E.J. Smith. They motion in Nate Borkacher, the tight end, and we got a false start for A&M. And Miami's defensive players were celebrating. Just flags everywhere. 2 flags came out, and A&M's going to send out the punting unit. That's a huge stop for Miami. You're going to get the ball back. You've shown that you can shut down A&M's screen attack. You can limit their ground game. And that's really what A&M has going for them. Yeah, just that entire left side of the offensive line false started. That was Trey's on the 3rd and Chase Basantis on the false start. And they punted it away. Miami will have the ball 1st and 10. Looks like they're probably going to take another media timeout. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep, they're going to take another timeout. Gotta get the commercials in. Gotta get those damn commercials in. Now we get to see Carson Beck out for the first time. Whoops. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be active in the live chat. Love hearing what you guys have to say, your analysis about the game. It is early, so I don't have much analysis outside of that it appears to be the case that Miami can stop the run with a light box, and they are tackling well, and they can shut down Texas A&M's screen game. Craver already has 2 receptions and I think 2 additional targets, so they're trying to get him the football. The problem is, with 6 pass attempts, A&M's averaging 2.2 yards per pass attempt. They're averaging 4 yards per carry on the ground, but Miami's doing a good enough job to limit that. When you're only averaging 4 yards per carry, you typically need at least something going in the passing game, and A&M has not had that yet. Keontae Scott making his reappearance as the first TFL of any player, of any team, so good for him. Yeah, and Carson Beck was at Georgia right before. You guys are right. So Carson Beck is one of 2 characters. He's either an NFL quarterback who will win you games, or he's Timmy from South Park and he will lose you games. There is really not much in between for Carson Beck. So I'm curious to see if we get Timmy from South Park, as my friend Baldfather Betts likes to call him, or if we get just normal Carson Beck. Don't know why I paused there. It is going to be 1st and 10 for Miami. Miami is going to have this ball at their own 8. So if Timmy from South Park is here, Texas A&M might score a defensive touchdown or get a turnover inside the red zone. But Miami also has a real opportunity here to go on like a 7 or 8 minute drive, as they love to do, and really, take this crowd out of the game. You can see those white pom-poms. You can see the hands moving. This is a beautiful orchestra of noise, of hatred, of chaos. And Miami's going to have to face this for 88 yards or 92 yards if they're going to score a touchdown. Beck is back there with Mark Fletcher Jr. He is going to toss a screen that gets about a gain of 4, and that's out to Keelan Marion, the incoming transfer from BYU. Keelan Marion has had quite a year for Miami. He's second in the team in receiving yards with 1 receiving touchdown. He has 557 receiving yards. Malachi Toney leads the team in receptions by more than double of the next leader in receptions. He has 84 receptions for first. Keelan Marion is second with 41. So he's their primary target. They do like to run the ball, and they are going to run the football here with some, looks like, outside zone. And they are able to get a good gain and pick up a first down there. Good run by Mark Fletcher. Good blocking on the outside by Marion, by the left tackle for Miami, Markel Bell, and by 78 Matthew McCoy, the left guard, really getting pushed there. Just straight up power versus power, and they got it. Going to be 1st and 10 at their own 18. A little bit of a trick play here. We have number 10, Malachi Toney, in the Wildcat taking the snap. It is just going to be about a jet sweep. Toney is just going to get about a gain of 2. So it's going to be 2nd and 8 for Miami. A little bit of a trickeration there with the true freshman slot receiver who has been oh so valuable to the Canes. 970 receiving yards, 7 receiving touchdowns, 84 receptions. He'll probably break 1,000 receiving yards today. And he has 89 rushing yards and a touchdown. So he has over 1,000 all-purpose yards. Could be looking at breaking 10 total touchdowns on the season this year. Pretty impressive what he's done. Beck is in there with Mark Fletcher. He comes back, takes the snap. It's going to be a quick toss to the tight end. Tight end only picks up a gain of 3 there, so it's going to be 3rd and 5. Alex Bauman with the reception. Bauman this season has 126 receiving yards and a touchdown. They don't use their tight ends a whole lot in the passing game, but Elijah Lofton and Bauman each have over 100 receiving yards and each have a few touchdowns combined. On a critical 3rd and 5, where they've already gotten out of their own end zone, but you ideally would like to extend this drive as they're bringing the play clock down to under 10. Bauman and Daniels are in there probably as blockers, as A&M is going to send a pressure, and Beck throws it behind his intended receiver, Keelan Marion. Batted down by Texas A&M's number 4, that being Will Lee III, and it will be another punt in this game. Just way behind his receiver. If it was a little bit more on target, but not totally on target, that could have been a pick. If it was on target, that could have been a wonderful catch opportunity. But they're going to have to punt. At least they're out of their own end zone. A&M looks like they want to block this punt. But they will not. And not a very good punt. That punt is going to land at the Texas A&M 38. So about a, from the 23 to the 38, that's 27. That's a 39-yard punt. It's not very good. Dylan Joyce punting that football. But so far it looks like, Miami's defense has brought it. Their offense has been a bit sloppy so far. Both teams feeling each other out. This red is a defensive game entering this matchup. So Curious to see how this lasts. I mean, it's different from last night where early first quarter it already looked like Oklahoma was the better team, and they started that 17-0 run that they choked away. But Alabama was able to really make a comeback here. Just curious to see what happens now that we've gotten the scripted drives out of the way. And for new viewers on here, make sure to stay. Would love to get around 500 concurrent viewers and over 100 likes today. That would be pretty incredible. So please like and subscribe and be active in the live chat. You know, again, it's so early, but one thing that I have noticed so far is I believe Miami's offensive line is holding up better than A&M's. Again, it's very early, but that would be another observation. And that Miami's doing a better job defending the short game than A&M. The difference that has been in A&M's favor is that Reed has legs and Beck does not. Like, Reed has been the reason why they've been able to extend those key drives or those key third downs and move the chains. It's been Reed's legs. It's basically been the Marcel Reed show through one drive for A&M, and for Miami, it's been their offensive line and defensive line coming to play. So make of that what you will. Ooh, wow. Can't wait for the instant reaction to this, too. To recap all of this with you guys and then see who gets to play Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. Could be a home game for Texas A&M. Could also be a interesting rematch with Miami. For an Ohio State fan in the comments, the pissed off Ohioan, either way, Ohio State beats both of these teams by 14 plus is what he says. I agree they would beat A&M by 14 plus. I also think they'd beat Miami, but I don't know if they'd blow out Miami. I think Miami has enough of a defense and enough of a power run game to potentially keep it close with Ohio State, but I would not pick them to beat Ohio State. No. We're back in the game, though, so let's focus on that. It looks like Reed is going to be by himself with Reuben Owens II and his tight end, Micah Riley, lined up. It's a read option, which Reed is going to take. Pulls it. That was the wise move. And he is going to get a gain of 6, I believe. 6 or 5.5. So it'll be second and medium. That was a successful play, a successful run. That's what A&M needs more than anything. They have good field position. Need to cash this off with a score. Or cash this out with a score. Keep Owens in the game. They're going to shift over the tight ends 17 and 87. That's Theo Mellon Ostrom and Nate Borkacher. Reed is well protected. He's just going to dump it off to his check down route. And they pick up a first down as 20, I think it was 28 for Miami. Or maybe 29. Missed that tackle there. Yes, that's O.J. Frederick Jr., the sophomore corner. Missed a tackle, and it is a gain for Texas A&M with Reuben Owens converting that. Quickly to the line they go. Reed, under pressure, is going to fling it, and it is caught, and Nate Borkacher's down at the 30 of Miami. Nice throw, nice catch, found the hole in between the coverage, and A&M is already moving the ball. They're close to the red zone. Screen pass, and that screen pass is nearly blown up. I think they're going to call either a face mask or a hold there. It's just a gain of 2, gain of 1 out to the 30. But when there's a flag thrown and it's for a play behind the line of scrimmage, as that screen was, I'm anticipating that it's a hold. We'll see. Nope, they picked up the flag. So it's just 2nd and 9. Or maybe the penalty was declined by Miami. It is a designed quarterback run, and it's an incomplete pass. Oh, they might call it a fumble. They might call that a fumble. Yeah, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. Armando Blount, number 18, has it, one of the defensive linemen, and it looks like it's going to be a Miami turnover, as it should be. He did not have control of that ball. Reed did when he let it go. That was not a forward pass. So a big play, I think, for Miami's defense. They're going to review it, and they should, but that's a fumble. He cocked that back. Ball came forward, but not because he was extending the ball forward. It's because an opposing defensive player's arm slapped his hand, and it just kind of popped forward without any forward momentum. That is a turnover. That is Miami football. That is 1st and 10 for the Canes. It is a huge play. Wonderful play. And they do rule it a 1st and 10. Yep, Keontae Scott again with a big play. The safety for Miami, or the nickel. So Miami has it. Big defensive play. They're going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher gets down the sidelines and picks up a 1st down. Miami loves to run in between the tackles. They've had 2 runs outside, off tackle so far that have been successful there. They have Bauman out to the right as a blocker. Maigoa takes his man and pushes him outside to open up the hole, and Fletcher just shoots through. If not for that last second tackle by the safety, he could have gone to the house with that. He had speed there. So it's 1st and 10. Now Miami with good field position. They are at their own 42. They're going to line up Malachi Toney in the Wildcat. They're going to get about a gain of maybe 3 or 4 with the run. That run being given to number 9. It's Elijah Lofton who took the handoff, I believe. 2nd and 7 from the 45. Gotta capitalize if you're Miami off that turnover. They got Lofton and Fletcher. It's going to be a jet sweep. It is going to be a pass. They are going to let this one fly, and it is incomplete. They were looking for Lofton again right there. It was a trick play. Handoff to Malachi Toney. And the trick play just did not work. A&M read that beautifully. They did not fall for it. So now it's 3rd and 7. 2:46 left in the first quarter, and it is loud. I can see all of those white pom-poms, and that stadium's built so that, they can trap noise. Miami's having a tough time communicating. They do snap it, but I think Miami may have called the timeout, or Texas A&M did. But I'm thinking it's Miami. Yep, Miami called their second timeout. They had to. Play clock was getting too far down, too close to 0. Oh, we're so close to getting 100. We're so close to getting 400 concurrent viewers, guys. We are so close. So close. You know what the early line for Indiana, Alabama is? It's Indiana minus 6.5, minus 7, minus 7.5, which is almost strange to me. Like, there's a lot of sharp action on Indiana here. Like, a lot of people like Indiana in that spot. I personally, sorry about any of that noise you heard from me hitting my mic like an idiot. I think that Indiana has a really good matchup here, where the key to beating Alabama is great offensive line and mobile QB. And we've seen that work out, and also like having good defense too. That's how Oklahoma with Venables at a 2-1 record against Alabama. More importantly, that is how Florida State beat them. That is how Vanderbilt beat them last year and how they kept it close. Indiana is better than any of those teams so far. So I do like Indiana in the spot, but the line is interesting. Is Chris Drew coming on the channel to talk about the Michigan coaching search? Him and I have been trying to get into contact, but he's pretty busy, I imagine, and we've just been missing each other. But I would love to have him on. Would love to have him on. I will say, I still think Michigan is going to definitely upgrade. I know that Dillingham got an extension. I know that DeBoer won yesterday. But there are other good options that you could get who are as close to as proven as Dillingham in particular. It's hard to it's going to be hard for Michigan to hire anyone at this point who's similar to DeBoer in caliber. But Michigan should still be able to find someone who can at least make them a consistent playoff contender and here and there a national title contender, for sure. I hate how the commercial breaks are so frequent. But this game has been so even. It's been so back and forth. I mean, you look at Alabama-Oklahoma yesterday, and by the end of the first quarter, it was Oklahoma 10, Alabama nothing. And then at halftime, it was tied. And, Alabama really took over midway second quarter onward and just dominated, with Oklahoma special teams really losing them the game. Here, this profiles as being much closer. It's about to be 0-0 unless something dramatically changes within about the final quarter of the first half. Carson Beck is going to be facing a blitz. They get the ball out quickly on a screen. It results in a tackle for loss. A&M read that play perfectly, and Miami is going to have to punt. And A&M brought the house, too. They brought, I think, 5 or 6. Yeah, I think 5 or 6. Yep, they brought 6, and the other 5 were just all over the other receivers. It was the perfect play call. So Miami will have to punt on a 4th and 7. Let's try to get to 100 likes by the end of the stream. Miami is going to punt it off. Dylan Joyce actually has a pretty nice punt this time. It's going to be muffed. He muffed the punt. Did Miami recover it? No, they did not. But A&M will have it inside their own 15. But he muffed it. He just was lucky enough to recover it. That was almost a disastrous play. Good punt by Miami. Good special teams play by Miami. Texas A&M number 7 Casey Conception nearly had a disastrous play, but really nice punt by Dylan Joyce. That was a 39-yard punt, but then it was muffed, so he recovered it a few yards behind where he was going to initially fair catch it. Really big play. Now let's see what Texas A&M can do. They're backed up in their own territory like Miami was on their first drive. This will be A&M's 3rd drive. They are going to hand it off and pick up a gain of probably 5 there. It'll be 2nd and 5. That was Le'Veon Moss with the ball. Listed as 2nd and 6. Reed is going to be back there by himself, facing pressure. He is going to take off and pick up a first down. He is just so fast and so athletic. Got all the way out to the 27 there. That's a big play. And those legs, picking up a gain of 10 there, that's a big deal. It is going to be a handoff, but that handoff is going to go for a loss. Le'Veon Moss had it again. That was a wonderful tackle by the star of the defense and probably the best player on the entire field, Reuben Bain Jr. It's going to be 2nd and 12 from the 25. Exciting first quarter. I know 0-0, but this is exciting to me. This is a game of defense so far. Final play of the first quarter, most likely. Miami is sending a blitz. It's dropped. Reed was targeting on the left-hand side of the field number 3, Ashton Bethel Roman, on kind of a, curl route, and he just dropped it. It was an off throw. I put that one more on Reed than anything else. So that will not be the final play of the first quarter. Third and 12 with 14 seconds left. Miami has a sim pressure. They bring it. Reed is going to have to dump it off to number 17, and it will be a 4th down. Had his check down route, Theo Mello Ostrom, and really only picked up a gain of 1. So that's the end of the first quarter. A&M's going to have to punt it back to Miami, and Miami will begin their 3rd drive of the day. Yeah, wow. This is profiling as a game where the over under opened at 48.5. It's now been bet down to 35.5. This is going to be a probably 17-10 or 17-13, something along those lines, final score. So stats through the first quarter, we have Texas A&M 81 total yards to Miami's 28. A&M's losing the turnover battle, but is 6 first downs to Miami's 2. Only 1 penalty committed so far. Texas A&M false start on that 4th and 6. Miami's 0 of 2 on 3rd down. A&M is 3 of 5. I think 2 out of 3, or all 3 out of 3, were converted by Marcel Reed's legs. No team has attempted a 4th down yet. A&M did, but they had the false start, so it just doesn't read. A&M is 9 minutes and 58 seconds of possession. Miami has 5 minutes and 2 seconds of possession. Let's look at the game on paper stats, look at the success rates, see what we're dealing with here. Miami right now is averaging negative 0.49 EPA per play. It's a 0th percentile. A&M is averaging negative 0.22 EPA per play in the 12th percentile. So both teams are dominating defensively. Miami has had no explosive plays. They have had a 0% success rate on 3rd down. The only concerning thing for A&M at this point is that you are succeeding on 3rd down more often than not, and you have no points. And Miami is averaging 0.26 EPA per rush. Those are the concerning numbers for A&M right now. The concerning numbers for Miami is obviously you're averaging a 22% success rate on the road against an offense that is viewed as more potent than yours. So, yeah, just defense right now. And we're seeing, too, the havoc rate for both of these teams come through, where both these teams are top 5 in havoc rate forced defensively. A&M is 2nd, generating a 19% havoc rate. Miami is 5th, generating a 17.8% havoc rate. And that's somewhat translating. Miami's generating 14% havoc plays. A&M's generating 22% havoc plays. So, it's interesting. But we're back here in the second quarter. It hath begun. A&M is going to punt this on 4th and 11 from their own 25. Tyler White is going to punt this football away. What's going on? It looks like a pretty poor punt. Miami will have it at their own 35 to start. Yep, 44-yard punt down at the Miami 30. Well, down at the 30 and then a return to the 34. So this is Miami's third drive of the game. They have not had many successful drives. Their only successful play so far has been that, off-tackle run. But they haven't gone to that much. And I get that because it's not really their identity. Their identity is really in between the tackles. Oh, they're going to try that play again. They get 3, maybe 4 yards from Malachi Toney. So they're using him as a running back, too, at different times. Second and 6, it's going to be from their own 40. Or not their own 4. Yeah, from their own 38. Back to throw. He is going to take a deep shot, and he overshot his man, Josiah Trader. He was open. He had a step. But Beck and Trader did not connect there, so it's going to be a 3rd and 6 incomplete pass. Need to convert a 3rd down here if you're Miami. Your defense has been on the field more often than not. And, your defense is the star of the show here. It's the best unit on the field, is the Miami defense. But they can't hold forever. A&M is going to send a blitz, and Beck got hit and fumbled, but thankfully for Miami, Mark Fletcher Jr. was there to recover it. So it is going to be a 4th down back at the 32, and Miami will have to punt this one away after reverting a near disaster. There was just nothing open, and Beck responded too late. It's a sack of 6 yards. He was sacked by Cassius Howell. So Miami's going to punt this one away. A&M does come after it. Nice punt coverage by Miami. A&M will have it at their own 27, 28 yard line. No, they're going to have it at the 30. Casey Conception returned it for 0 yards. Did not call for the fair catch and was tackled by Miami's number 2, Damari Brown. Corner playing on special teams. So good play by... No, it was number 22. 22 or 23 is who it was. Anyway. It was a really good hit. Neither team has scored yet. Through 16 minutes and 41 seconds, no one's scored. Let's see if that changes. Reed is going to go on a play-action pass. He's going to try to hit his man deep, and it is caught by Craver. And then they're going to say he caught it, stepped out of bounds at the 11. That's a big play for A&M. Big time play. 59-yard pass. Mohamed Toure with the tackle. Let's see if he fumbled it, though. Nope, they're not going to review it. Instead, it's a run on 1st and 10. Gets back to the line of scrimmage there. Shocked they didn't review that. But A&M got up to the line quickly and snapped the football. A&M very quickly establishing a statistical dominance. 2nd and 9 from the Miami 10. Reed steps up, steps back, going to try to out-angle his man, throws, and it is incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd and 9. Nathan Tuckfield, thank you for the $5 super chat. Due to Michigan's incompetence, which team do you suggest I transfer to in the fan transfer portal? Getting bodied by ASU is embarrassing. Stick it out. Thank you for the $5, but stick it out. Michigan is going to make an upgrade hire. Reed steps back. He's going to make a quick pass. It's caught, but only at the 5, so it's going to be 4th and 4. And I assume A&M is going to kick the field goal here. Getting bodied by Arizona State, sure, you could say that's embarrassing, but Penn State also got bodied by several guys along the way. It is harder now in an era where the playing field is more even. It is harder to like maximize your advantages as a bigger program. I really do believe Michigan will still upgrade, though, because Moore was that bad of a coach. So don't transfer away. Michigan's going to make a hire that will excite you far more than Sharon Moore did. And that field goal's blocked. Miami blocked it. They're not going to return it, but they blocked that field goal. All of those yards for A&M only to come away with 0 points is not a good thing. That was blocked. Randy Bond got that field goal blocked. It's no good. No good. So 11:32 remaining in that second quarter, and A&M comes away with no points. That is insane. That is crazy. That field goal was blocked, and it's returned to the Miami 13. Wow. 146 total yards. A&M is outgaining Miami by 120 yards. Wow. That is crazy. Yeah, they have like 80% more yards than Miami does. Or not 80% more. That's incorrect. That's bad math by me. Gosh, how did I forget that? I just exposed how slow I am, or how my brain's in multiple different places. Wow. Yeah. Miami has nearly a sixth of the yardage that A&M does. Nearly a sixth, and yet they are tied in points. I mean, A&M is dominating Miami from a stats, from an EPA per play angle, and it's just... It's not going too well. Like, when you're statistically dominating like that, and moderators, if you can, try to put these spamming users, like, to try to delete them so that I don't have to do that if you can. I'm going to be watching and paying attention, but just, if you can, that'd be appreciated. We already have 50 likes, so I appreciate that a lot. Make sure to like this live so that we can get to 100 likes before the stream ends. I appreciate that. And be active in the live chat. Like, keep chatting in the live chat. I'd appreciate that. And yes, I could use a co-host for these. It's a lot of time to talk while commercials are going on. A lot of different topics to talk about. I could use a co-host. I could, for sure. Especially for these. But I also like doing this. I got a feeling that Miami's going to win this one with how this game is going. I mean, A&M has been the better team so far, but they can't get out of their own way. And usually when that happens, the opposing team, if they are of similar caliber, and they are, Miami and A&M are very even, that team eventually wakes up and starts moving the football. This is not good if you're A&M. You really, really need to force another 3-and-out here. Like, if Miami, after that blocked field goal, goes in a long drive and cashes in a touchdown, the momentum totally flips. You have the opposite feeling, I see, in the chat. You think that A&M is going to win? Oh my goodness, Mark Fletcher Jr., what a run up the middle. From the 13 all the way out to the 31. That is an 18-yard gain. 18-yard run by Mark Fletcher Jr. Nice blocking, nice rushing. That has been what Miami's been able to do so far this game, is run the ball. They've been able to do that, and I think they should get to that here. That's only their third first down of the game, by the way, guys. Only their third first down. They are going to try to... It looked like they were going to try to run it again, but they did not. It was a play-action kind of RPO. They got the ball out to Tony instead on a dump-off route, and it's just tackled in the backfield for a loss of 1. So it's going to be 2nd and 11. They keep Fletcher in there. A&M has 6 guys in the box, creeping up to the line. Would not be shocked if they blitz. They are going to. Fletcher is going to power forward to the 32. So pick up a gain of 3. It is going to be 3rd and long again. 3rd and 8 from the 32. It's another obvious passing situation for Carson Beck. And yeah, Miami versus Georgia would be interesting. Three seconds on the play clock. And looks like Miami's going to call the timeout. There's some confusion. They don't call a timeout. I think they're going to take the delay of game penalty. Yup, that's what they will do. That atmosphere from A&M has been causing issues on these 3rd and longs. Third and 13. They get the ball off. A&M sends a pressure. They dump it off to Alex Bauman. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Just for a gain of 3, 4, maybe 5. It's going to be 4th and long. And Miami's going to have to punt this football away. Man, that Miami defense has been bringing it. I mean, A&M still has basically 3 times the yardage that Miami does. But the TOP battle is evened out. And Miami's defense has come up huge on several plays. Same with the special teams unit. Dylan Joyce to punt this away. It's a really nice punt. Fair caught at about the 27-yard line. Good punt there. Really nice punt. That was a 41-yard punt. Fair caught by Terry Bussey. So we are a quarter and a half through this game. Score still 0-0. Beck is averaging 1.1 yards per pass attempt. But Miami is averaging... they're basically averaging 7 yards per carry, factoring out the sack. They're averaging 6.7 yards per carry. So Miami's winning the rushing battle. They have a sack. They have 2 additional TFLs. They're winning the line of scrimmage battle, but A&M's winning this air battle. Andrew, hey, if Oregon loses to the 12 seed, I'm going to lose my mind. Your Ducks won't lose. They won't. Wow. I would feed Mark Fletcher that football if I were Miami. They're getting push up front in a way that A&M is just not getting push. I would put my head down and try to go on a long drive here to get some points before half. That's what I would try to do if I were Miami. If I were A&M, I want to run the ball because I don't think Reed can operate a pass-first offense or a pass-first offense. But I would also try to go deep and make sure I can protect Reed because I think that A&M's receivers have an edge over Miami's defensive backs. Wow. What a game so far. What a game. What a game. Well, we have some FCS games on today. That's pretty neat. First and 10 for A&M. We're back. We're back with this game. First and 10 at the 27. You're in 11 personnel as A&M. They're going to try to hand it off, and there's just nothing there. Nothing there. That interior of that offensive line, the minute Owens took the handoff, just crumpled immediately. So it's second and 10. Didn't gain anything there. Still operating out of 11 personnel. One tight end, one running back. They are going to try to hand it off again, and they actually get something out of it that time. They're going to make it 3rd and 3. 3rd and 2, I believe. Yup, 3rd and 2. That was a run of about 7-8 yards. Found a little hole, and Owens just shot right through it. I'd expect another run here from A&M, but we'll see. I mean, that Miami defensive front is strong. Doesn't look like Miami is doing, well, yup, sim pressure and false start. Miami's linebacker just creeped right up to the line, and A&M flinched. That's the one thing Miami has going for them, is that they are winning this line of scrimmage battle so far. And that pays off. They rotate in. They're bringing in number 12 and number 18, Armando Blount and Marquise Lightfoot, some backup defensive linemen. It's going to be 3rd and 7. I think they're bringing in more pass rush guys here. Not looking to really stop the run. Bain is out there with Blount and with Marquise Lightfoot. I think I see Akeem Mesidor too. I think this is really like a pass rush set. They back out of it, and they almost pick up that first down, but really good tackling where Smith, the 4th, got that ball. E.J. Smith out of the backfield. Got a gain of 5. Missed some tackles, broke some, but ultimately it's going to have to be a punt. Are you going to preview regular bowl games? Asks Puffy J. Yes. This week, I'm going to preview regular bowl games, for sure. I'm going to preview playoff games within the next 48 hours, and then I'll preview the regular bowl games, too. There's going to be a lot of previews this week. A&M gets off the punt. Miami's going to try to return it. They get a really good return. Is he gone? He's gone. Oh, he tripped up, but he was gone. He got tripped up on a shoestring tackle. If not for that, that would have been a Miami touchdown. Miami has the ball thanks to Malachi Toney at the 25. What an amazing punt return. And now the momentum is totally flipped. Yeah, he punted it to really the opposite side of where his coverage team was initially going. And Toney just has the speed to out-angle everyone. Nice blocking. He just barely got tripped up by, I believe it was number 7 for A&M. KC. No, number 3. He got tripped up by number 3, Marcus Ratcliffe. Just barely got a hand. That's a nice attempt at a tackle by Ratcliffe. Saved a touchdown. But we'll see if Miami's offense can cash it in for a score here. They're going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher is able to get through the hole for really just a gain of 1, maybe 2. Going to be second and long. That was a beautiful punt return. And as we're entering the final minutes of the first half, let's get to 100 likes, guys. 100 likes, and hopefully at some point in the stream we can get like 500 concurrent viewers. That'd be awesome. They are going to run a trick play with Beck. I have no idea what this trick play is. It is a trick play to Malachi Toney that maybe goes for another yard. Miami's really pulling out the trick plays here and getting Toney involved with the offense. It really only picks up a gain of 1. It's going to be third down and long. The website hasn't updated? I think that's an ESPN thing. Let me reload it. Yeah, that's an ESPN thing. ESPN hasn't updated this. I just reloaded it and refreshed it on my screen, and it's not updating. It's being stupid, but whatever. Third and 8. Beck is back there. A&M is going to send a blitz, and Beck is going to be taken down and sacked back at the 29. So Miami has had no successful drives. They've just forced a turnover, blocked a field goal, and had an awesome punt return. Let's see what they do here. I imagine they try a long field goal. They're slowly but surely updating it now. Yeah, now, yep, they've updated it now. They're going to try a long field goal from Carter Davis. Let's see if he makes it. With 3:36 left in the game, Davis's field goal misses. I think bounced off the left upright, and it's no good. So the game's still 0-0. Just missed it. This is a really defensive game. Both teams are shutting each other down. Miami has just had... They have not been able to protect Beck. Beck has not had a good game. They have been able to run the ball with limited success, but their offense is just messy right now. Really, really messy. Let's see if A&M can cash in a score or if this is going to be a 0-0 game at the half. Wow. Sam, what if Texas Tech beats both Oregon and Indiana? Then they can win it all. If they can beat both those teams, they can easily win it all. And yeah, this is a very exciting 0-0 game. I agree with that. crazy. So far, A&M has made more mistakes than Miami. That's all I'll say. Like the missed field goal, the fumble, the false starts, that bad kick coverage. And that was a really key tackle by Ratcliffe. If he does not make that tackle, Miami gets 7 points. And in this type of game, that might be what decides it. Cannot believe Miami is averaging 1 yard per pass attempt. That's pathetic. Fatal Corleone 7. How do you feel about 2 of the 3 Oregon wide receivers being back? That's really good for Oregon. Oregon can win it all if they have a mostly healthy receiver core. If their receiver core is as banged up as it was in the month of November, I don't think they can win it all. Thank you for the question. The winner of this game advances to play Ohio State. I would favor Ohio State over either of these teams by about a touchdown right now, especially Texas A&M. Just Miami has had no downfield passing ability. This is crazy. So 1st and 10 for A&M at their own 29 could be the final drive of the half. Could be A&M's final drive, probably is. But they have all 3 of their timeouts in the 2-minute warning. Miami has 1 timeout in the 2-minute warning. Reed steps back as a wide open lane to take off. He is going to try to pick up the first down, and he does. Gets a gain of 11 out of bounds. Mobile QBs like him are just so hard to defend. It's much easier to defend a QB like Carson Beck than a quarterback like Marcel Reed. 1st and 10 at the 40. A&M already having some success with this initial drive. They are going to try and run it, and they do not get much. Just maybe a gain of 2 from Le'Veon Moss, if that. 2nd and long with 3 minutes left. They huddle. They're willing to use the play clock here. Reed back to throw. It is going to be a quick pass out to Mario Craver. Craver steps out of bounds just 3 yards short of the first down marker. Nice angle there. It's going to be 3rd and 3 at the 46th. I don't think A&M will run another play, but let's see if they do. They need to get to the 49-yard line approximately, so it's going to be 3rd and 4. And no, they're not going to run another play. They are not going to run another play. Okay, we've reached the 2-minute warning, so that's absolutely fantastic. This has been quite the defensive game, to say the least. Crazy. Yeah, when you're Miami and you've had no success in the end zone, when you are operating within the 0th percentile in yards per play, success rate, EPA per play, EPA per drop back, 3rd down success, explosive play rate, and defensive run stuffing rate, that's not good. Now, A&M's also operating in the 0th percentile in run stuffing rate, but they're doing pretty well outside of that in other categories. They're just not cashing this in as scores. Would you favor Notre Dame versus both of these teams? Probably, but Notre Dame wouldn't crush either of these teams, I don't think. Either. But yes, I would favor on a neutral field Notre Dame over both of these teams for sure. Yes. Live betting line has been moved up to A&M -3.5. I think confidence is in A&M right now to win because it's tied and they are statistically dominating. They've shown they can put together some drives. Miami has shown no capability of putting a drive together so far. 0-0. Quite the score, quite the game. Make sure to like and subscribe, everyone. Let's try to get to 100 likes before the end of this stream. It'd be a great day to make some, expand our network, make some good money, and give you all, more importantly, elite college football analysis. Oh. Can't wait to see if A&M will convert this or if they'll give Miami a very brief opportunity to score here. A&M did get the ball at a half, so Miami will get the ball out of the first half. So if you're Miami and if you can somehow score here, you have a really good chance to double dip out of halftime. If you're A&M, you have a chance to really impose momentum entering the half. It's 3rd and 4. Watch out for Reed's legs. He's going to take it with a drop back pass. Oh, that was a low throw. He had it too. He had it on that angle route. He had it to E.J. Smith, and it was a low pass, and Smith dropped it. That's on Reed. So A&M will have to punt. They have had nearly 150 yards of offense. They have more than tripled. They have almost quadrupled. Miami's total yardage output, and they're tied. That's not a good sign. Now, it doesn't mean they'll lose, but if Miami all of a sudden puts together a few offensive drives here, that could get bad. So you better hope that you can hold Miami scoreless entering half. They probably can. Probably will. Oh, it is going to be a fake play, and it's knocked down. It's incomplete. I don't know why A&M went for it there. I have no idea why A&M went for it there. What were they doing? It was a fake punt, and they were calling for interference, but there was no interference. He contacted him right as the ball was in his hand. It was drawn up well, but it was covered even better. Why would you do that? You just... I mean, I guess maybe it's the idea that Miami can't get a first down against you, so it's high risk, it's high reward, and the risk is lower than analytics would tell you because Miami's offense has been so bad. But what if Miami's offense wakes up here and it's 7-0 at the half and they get the ball? That's a huge stop by Miami special teams. They're going to run the ball with Mark Fletcher, and they're going to pick up a gain of 3, get down to the A&M 43. Just a huge turn of events. There, it might not mean anything because Miami's offense has been so incompetent, but you're giving Miami a real shot here at something if they do end up cashing this in. Back with Fletcher back there, it looks like they're going to want to run again, and Fletcher just gets bottled up, only gets to the 44. So He runs for a loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and long again. A&M has not called any timeouts yet. Under a minute left to play. I mean, if you're Miami, you might want to just chuck it to the end zone if it's picked off. Oh, well. You know, try to get something here. Try to get a score. Oh, Texas A&M called the timeout. Yeah, it just A&M dominating this game, and they can't put together anything on the scoreboard is concerning for sure. Whew. So A&M called their first timeout. Wonder what we're going to see out of Miami here. Okay, calling it here. A&M blitz and Beck gets sacked. Let's see if you're correct. I'm just going to call a bad incompletion. I think Miami over that timeout probably discussed some pass pro opportunities. Beck steps up in the pocket and he throws, and it is caught. It is caught for a first down. It was a nice pass from him and nice catch by C.J. Daniels, and they are at the 30. They get quickly up to the line. Got 20 seconds remaining. 19. They're wasting time here. 15. Beck going to try and hit his guy, and it is caught for a gain of 8. So they are solidly inside the 25. Hypothetically, they're in field goal range now. Let's see. He juggled it. Let's see if he caught it again. Oh, yes, he did. They're going to review it. They call it an incompletion, but I think they're going to review it. Yup, that was a catch. I think he caught that. Yeah, that that is so sad. You dominated that game statistically. You've been dominating this game statistically, and you might be down at the half, and they get the ball to start half. That is crazy. Crazy. I do think that's a catch, and I think there is indisputable video evidence. Yeah, like he has possession right there as his foot's in bounds. He has indisputable video evidence that that is a catch. That could be big, too, because I don't think Miami is making a 40... I don't think they're making a 45, 40-plus yard field goal. So this could be huge. And with how this game is going, any points here mean something. Let's see. Call overturned. They rule it a catch. That's the right call. It's going to be 2nd and 2. So it's 2nd and 2 with 11 seconds left at the 22. Do they take a shot at the end zone, or do they play it conservatively to just try and get some points? That's what I'm curious to see. Beck is back there with Fletcher. Looks like A&M wants to bring pressure. They do. They bring stunts. It is going to be a fade, and Beck just aims it incomplete. It's 3rd and 2. Probably take one more shot to the end zone and then kick that field goal, I would say. I mean, you do have a timeout, so if you want to center the field goal to go with the wind, you could try to do that. Wow. 1 second on the play clock. They try another pass to the end zone, and that was just way off from Beck. Way, way off. So it's going to be 4th and 2. They're going to bring out the field goal kicking unit, I do believe. They're going to try for a field goal from the 22. So that's a 39-yarder. They're going to go for a 39-yard field goal. Carter Davis missed his first one. So a very long field goal. Will have an opportunity to redeem himself with a 39-yarder in the wind. And he hooked it. No, he pushed it. He didn't hook it, but he pushed it. Wide right. So the halftime score is 0-0. Yeah, he pushed it to the right, wide right. And it feels like that wind just, like with how strong that ball went, it feels like that wind is just right behind it. It's just, that's so bad. That is so, so bad. 0-0 score at the half. Miami to receive the second half kickoff. Honestly, this was a very, very bad score. Not score, but this is about as worse of a half as you could have as Miami's offense. And it's tied. So I actually like Miami due to the fact that they received the second half kickoff. I like them to win here, but it's very close. This is a total coin flip. Okay, I am going to go just take a little bit of a breather here now that it's halftime. I'll be right back. Stay on. Don't worry. Just getting some water, maybe a little snack. I'll be back here. And welcome back, everyone. See, Desmond Howard's on the screen, so I don't want to look at the screen now that he's on it. How y'all doing? Yeah. 0-0 at the half. It's a pretty ridiculous game, pretty ridiculous score. Things have evened out analytically. A&M has started to really, A&M started to come back down to earth offensively. Miami has stayed about the same. Miami's not getting a ton of pressure here, but they are only sending 4 for the most part. Meanwhile, A&M is sending consistent 5, 6, 7 guys with really nice blitz packages and stunts that are messing with Miami. So, yeah, it's interesting for sure. As this matchup pertains to Ohio State, I really like Ohio State to beat both of these teams. I do think, though, that both of these defenses, with how they play, would give Ohio State's offense fits. Like, I don't think Ohio State would run the ball well on either of these teams. I don't think they protect Sayin well against either of these teams. My biggest issue here is Ohio State's defense is better than both of these, and they're better at receiver than both of these teams. And I think they have better coaching. So, with that and the extra time to prepare, I do think Ohio State would beat both. I like Ohio State to beat both. But I also like both of these defenses with what they've been able to do to probably limit Sayin and Ohio State's ground attack and force them to go more of a short pass first offense, which would be interesting to say the least. I think the Cotton Bowl really is going to be a good game where Ohio State comes out on top because they're better. That's what I'm reading into from how this game is going so far. Wow. Halftime. Then we get Ole Miss versus Tulane. We get Oregon versus James Madison. It's going to be pretty interesting. Looks like Sharps are on James Madison slightly and Ole Miss slightly. These playoff games, I don't know how entertaining they'll be. I imagine they'll be somewhat boring. It's why we're not going live for them. Sam, will we see a score this game? Well, thank you, Brownie CFB, for popping in. Thank you. Love talking football with you on my Discord server and privately. I think we will, but I'm really convinced now, and the betting reflects this, where the total for the game right now is over under 20.5. I think you're going to see a 10. I think you're going to see like a 7 to, how do I put this? You're probably going to see anywhere from you're only going to see touchdowns scored, I think, because I don't think any of these kickers are making it with these windy conditions. Unless it's like a chip shot from, centered on the 10. I think you're going to see a score total of probably anywhere from 10 to 21 points. I think you're going to see, because Beck has a better, more trusted arm than Reed, and Miami's been able to run the football better, I think you're going to see Miami win this game by either a field goal or a touchdown, and they're just going to eke it out barely. Yeah, like 10-7 Miami, which is your prediction here. That's kind of what I'm thinking here, is like a 10-7 or 14-7 final score is what I'm thinking. I think that both staffs are good enough offensively with, Colin Klein for A&M and gosh, what's his face? How am I forgetting his name? Shannon Dawson, both offensive coordinators, I think are good enough to make adjustments and at least get some type of score on the board. It might go to overtime, though. It might go to overtime. So we'll see. this is shaping up to be a great game because it's, tied. This is a better game from a competitive angle than Alabama Oklahoma was, for sure. Can't wait for this game to be back on. I'm getting impatient already. Well, someone just put a very large sum of money for Miami to win because Miami's now favored by 1.5 for the live betting. That's interesting. Oh, and then it flipped. It flipped right back to A&M minus 2.5. So people are split as to what's going to happen here. I myself am leaning towards Miami, but I could very well be wrong. What are you guys' thoughts on the games later today? And also, let me know your thoughts about Indiana and Alabama. I'm leaning towards Indiana in that semifinal. For the games tonight, I think Oregon and Ole Miss win, and then I would lean towards Georgia over Ole Miss and Oregon over Texas Tech. Kind of what I'm thinking. It's difficult because these quarterfinals should be better than last year's quarterfinals since the G5 teams are, G5 and weaker teams are kind of out of the way in the first round instead of you having to play them in the quarterfinals. But, you never know, really. Wow. Miami's only ran 25 plays. A&M's ran 34. That's so bad. So bad. Wow. Who would be more embarrassed by losing to a G5 team? Asks Hoosier. Um, Definitely Oregon, because Oregon's favored by more, and Oregon's far more talented than Ole Miss is. It definitely would be Oregon. Okay, I think this is the beginning of the third quarter. I think. Yeah, it's about to be the beginning of the third quarter. Okay, finally. Finally, because I unfortunately do not have really many talking points to go over. That's something I'll work on for the quarterfinal games when we go live for those. Um, we won't be going live for the bowl games because people aren't going to be as interested in them, and I can be doing other things. Yeah, that fake punt, it ended up not costing A&M much of anything. Oh, wow, we still got 8 more minutes until kickoff? That's weird. That is weird. Maybe time's just passing really slowly for me. Oh wow. It's weird too. They haven't updated ESPN's FPI yet. I think they will after today, but they haven't updated it yet, and it's just kind of weird. Like, why not update it after every day, you know? Hmm. Not too much to talk about. Crazy when there was less offensive production than 2023 Iowa Minnesota. That's something I just tweeted out actually. Is I guess Iowa versus Minnesota is a playoff game. That's what these two teams look like. It's just like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Just preparing for my live show on Monday, preparing for the quarterfinals. Oh my goodness. Well, Nick Sheridan is hired as the offensive coordinator for Michigan State. That's going to be something that I will record after this is done. Wow. I I actually am kind of lukewarm about that hire for Michigan State. That's just like Sheridan has been demoted at both his stops with DeBoer. I mean, he might run an offense that's good enough for Fitzgerald, but that's interesting for sure. Maybe we switch the stream to D3 playoffs between UW, River Falls, and John Hopkins. Yes. Playing this sound TV on mute, Herp Street Overload. Yeah, Herp. It's not as bad as Gus Johnson or Joel Klatt, though. Those guys are. I muted them for the Big Ten title game. Couldn't listen to them. Could not listen to them at all. I prefer Fowler and Herb Street to them every single day. Every single day. But yeah, the third quarter is about to begin right now. My nose is plugged, but that's because I've been talking for a long time. Oh my Gosh, my nose is plugged up. Alrighty. Let's see who wins this game. Hate when my nose gets plugged, but that happens when I'm talking this long. I think it's because of how dry my house is. Oh, the wind is so bad that the ball got knocked off. It's they're gonna have to have someone hold it for him to kick it off. That's funny. Oh man. Yep, it's windy. I think at this point, whoever runs the ball better is going to win because the wind is just that erratic. And that reads Miami. Miami could run the football better based on what we've seen in this game so far. Okay, so Miami has it at their own 25. A&M's given a 50.6% chance to win according to ESPN's FPI. They are favored by 2.5 points on the live betting line. This is a game where, because of the wind and because of the score right now, whoever scores a touchdown first probably wins, barring something crazy happening. I don't know who's going to do that. A&M looks a little bit better through a half, but it's hard to tell with how close and competitive this game is. They are going to try to throw with Beck, and a catch is made to C.J. Daniels, number 7 for a first down. It's about a gain of 15 yards, so it's first and 10 at the Miami 40. Beck is again going to throw. It is caught, and a tackle is broken, and Keelan Marion gets out to, I believe, the Texas A&M 45. No, to the 40. It's a 20-yard pass, just missed tackle there, and Miami is moving the ball early here. They've just broken 100 yards, and Beck has surpassed 50 yards passing. It's a nice drive Miami's putting together thus far. We'll see if it can continue, though. Just on that out route, took it for 20. Snap. It is a fake handoff that is brought down for a loss. Tried to get it into Keelan Marion, and Texas A&M's TJ Searcy took him down in the backfield for a 4-yard loss. So now Beck is probably going to have to bail him out again since A&M has slowly snuffed out the rushing attack. And they get the slant to Marion, one-on-one coverage, and he does catch it, and it is going to be a third down, but it is a 10-yard gain, so it is 3rd and 4 at the Texas A&M 34. Nice yards after contact there by Marion. It's more like a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, actually. No, 3rd and 4. That's where they spot the ball. This is a nice initial drive. I'm curious whether or not Miami's going to try to run this or not. That's what it looks like, and they're going to get it. Mark Fletcher, he has an angle. He is down to the 10. That is a 24-yard run. And Miami has it all the way down at the 10. 1st and goal. So, a lot of changes here. Very stark to the first half where Miami was just Not able to move the football at all, and now they have a drive. A&M takes their first time out. Yeah, now how the tables have turned. Because after these things update here, Miami is really catching up to A&M in the advanced metrics now. That was not a fumble. I know they called it a fumble for the drive, but there was no fumble. That was just a straight up run. I don't know why it lists it as a fumble when ESPN never mentioned it. Like, he was down. Miami is moving. They're moving that football, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Yeah, I don't know why ESPN, but sometimes their like drive charts like that have just weird glitches to them. But this has been a nice drive so far. You know, they've been using out routes and short passes to their advantage, and then those are really good throw by Beck on that slant to Keelan Marion, and then a really good run by Mark Fletcher. As I've been saying, Miami has been able to run this ball better than A&M. The only reason A&M's rushing stats aren't disastrously bad is because of Reed being able to scramble on like third down or first down, or just him being able to scramble in general. But on designed, intended runs, Miami has been much more successful than the Aggies throughout. Miami is now favored by the live betting line at 3.5. So some are maybe expecting a touchdown here for the Canes. We'll see. But as I said, you know, first team to score a touchdown probably wins. We'll see. But it is first and goal with 12:05 remaining. Miami has it at the 10. Let's see what they do. They have Tony in at running back with Fletcher and Lofton as tight ends fullbacks. It is going to be a trick play. Beck is going to motion out as a receiver. They take it, and Tony is able to get about a gain of 4 on that Wildcat trick play. So it'll be second and goal from the 6, or maybe from... They're going to mark him down at the 7. So it'll be second and goal from the 7. I wonder if this is fourth down territory for Miami. You know, you get it at the 2 or the 1. Do you go for it? I mean, a touchdown here is huge with how this game is panned out. Huge touchdown. If they score, though, it's going to be very hard to score. Beck is going to try to throw, and he overshoots his man in the end zone. Incomplete. It's going to be third and goal from the 7. Now this looks like another field goal attempt, possibly. Miami has earned some TOP and enough of a break, though, to where I think that they're at least going to get a field goal here. Let's see, though. Maybe they throw a pick. Maybe they turn it over. Beck. A&M only sends 4. Beck is going to try to take off. Beck is going to get down to the 3, maybe down to the 2. 4 or 5 yard scramble. The field goal is centered if they want to kick the field goal now. They could also try to go for it. And it looks like, since it's down at the 3, I think they're going to kick the field goal. I think that's a wise move. I mean, you know you can get down now. You know you can move the ball. And the field goal's mostly centered. It's a 21-yard attempt here. So, should be an easy make. But you never know with these wins and with how the field goal kicking has gone for both these teams. And it's good. So Miami gets on the board first. 3-0 Canes. Points are points. They score the first points of the game. They go on a 9-play, 72-yard drive that ate up 4 minutes and 26 seconds of clock. Big drive, if you ask me. We'll see what happens from here. Wow, a team actually scored points. How did Texas A&M have such a big yardage edge in the first half? They had like a 60-yard pass to Mario Craver, and they had several drives where they picked up maybe 2 or 3 first downs, but then had to basically punt. So a lot of that is almost fake yardage. A lot of it. And then one big play. Because now after this Miami drive, I have a hard time seeing how anyone would argue A&M looks better. Like the drive they just put together where they showed they can run, you know, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far from both of these defenses. And that was a really good opening drive. Really good opening drive. So, yeah. Okay, guys, this game's going to be exciting for the rest of it. I think A&M is going to at some point score points here too. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Let's get to 100 likes before the stream is over. Send in any super chats if you have anything you want me to respond to. And yeah, let's get to like 500 concurrent viewers or something like that. Ryan says, I compare this game to Iowa playing itself, LOL. That's funny. That is funny. Yeah, if you're Miami, you would have loved to score the touchdown here, but points are points. The first points being scored with 10:34 left in the game is pretty crazy. Oh, wow. We'll see. Yeah, A&M is still leading Miami in most statistical categories. Miami's just actually... Well, the only difference here is that A&M's field goal inside the 10 was blocked and Miami's was not. That's the difference right now. That's really the only difference going on. Sam, the Aggies, they look the same like the same Aggies that showed up against South Carolina in the first half. To a certain degree, yes. But I think that this has more to do with Miami's defense than anything else. Oh, a safety in this game would be awesome, but I don't know if that'll happen here. Yup, the over-under is 20.5 right now. They're only expecting really 17 more points to be scored, if that. We'll see what happens. But Miami kicks it off. They have the lead. And they're just going to let this one bounce in the back of the end zone, and we'll see A&M's offense come out. So now this Miami defense, which has not been on the field since the final minutes of the second quarter, hasn't been on the field for probably the equivalent of like a half hour or 45 minutes, honestly. They come out, they're rested. A&M's finally down in the game, but there's not a ton of pressure on them. They're only down by 3. Let's see what Marcel Reed does. They are going to try a little bit of a trick play here. And that's to KC Conception, and he gets a pretty good gain there. But a Miami player is down. He is getting up, though. He's just going to come off. Yeah, he's hurt. That's Zachariah Poyser from Jacksonville State, incoming safety. That play got out to, it was a 9-yard gain. It was a quick change of direction, and then he just got landed on awkwardly. So hopefully he's okay, but it looks like he will be. He was able to get up under his own weight. So I think that he's going to be okay. I hope he is. I pray he is. Yep, now they're taking a media timeout, I think. But just giving us a view of the whole, team while all the refs' pants are they're getting all chopped up in that wind. That's how you know it's windy, is everyone's pants are moving, even when they don't move. That's wow. Well, hopefully that player's okay. Okay, they're going to take him to the locker room, but he is walking. So he might be done for the day. Maybe he won't be. That is a big loss for that defense. But he's at least, like, he's not in any serious, pain, doesn't seem like. It is 2nd and 1 for A&M. They're going to try to quickly run the football. They barely got it. That is a first down for Texas A&M. Reed is back to pass. He is under pressure. Barely gets the ball out. Had to throw it. It's incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10. He was under duress there. Miami did a good job getting pressure. So now it's 2nd and 10 from their own, I think it's own 36-yard line. Yes. Oh, and they're going to mark it intentional grounding. So that ball is going to be backed up to the 26. Wow, that's a 2nd and 20. That's going to be hard for A&M to come back from. But yeah, the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. So it is going to be 2nd and 20 for A&M. 2nd and 22, correction. Yeah, because it's on their own 24, not 26. Looks like Miami might send some pressure. No, they only bring 4. Are they going to get pressure with 4? They might. They get back to the 29, so it's still going to be a third and long, 29-28. They get a gain of 5, maybe a gain of 6. It's going to be 3rd and very long. Miami rotates their D-line. They bring in 18. And they bring in 12. Marquise Lightfoot and Armando Blount. We've seen them on 3rd down before. That's their pass rush set, I believe. So they're coming. Let's see if A&M can convert this, or if they're going to have to punt it back to a Miami offense that just moved down the field. Reed Steps back to pass. He is under some duress, and he throws an interception. Picked off. Miami has a real good chance to return it. They return it at about the 20. That ball was picked off by number 13, Bryce Fitzgerald, the backup to free safety Zechariah Poyser. And Miami has the football around where the red zone is. Reed forced that one. It sailed on him. And Miami is now in a position with a turnover edge of 2 to possibly make this a 2-score lead, or at least like a 6-point lead. That was a big play by the Miami defense that has really put A&M's offense in an absolute blender. Reed just forced that when he was trying to hit Mario Craver, but threw it way behind him. And Corey Heatherman is fired up, defensive coordinator for the Canes. Same with Michael Carter. Malachi Toney is in there as kind of a wildcat QB. If you're Miami, you'd love to get a touchdown here. 6 points does something, but Beck is going to try and throw it, but just he gets down to about the 16 and slides down. So only a gain of 4. If that. Now they're going to mark it as a gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 from the 18. Big play for Miami. You get more TOP, and you get a chance to extend the lead here. Nothing's guaranteed, though. They are going to hand it off, and they're going to pick up a gain of 2. Maybe 2.5. They handed that ball off to Gerard Pringle Jr. So it's going to be 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. They're only going to give him a gain of 1, so it's going to be 3rd and 7. They check the protection, check the blitz. Pringle Jr., the true freshman, is still in there. Beck, back to throw. He is going to pass it. It is tipped by Taurine York and incomplete. So Miami will have to try for another field goal inside the red zone. Let's see if they get it. Yeah, with that interception, A&M's offensive metrics have totally collapsed. No team is doing anything offensively. Big stop by A&M, though. 10-0 with how this game is played, I feel would be almost insurmountable. 6-0 could be good. And Joyce misses it. They missed it again. So it's still 3-0. Miami can't They can't cash in with that turnover at all. It's still 3-0. He missed the field goal. So A&M gets the ball back at the 17. We do have a media timeout. They cannot score to save their life. Neither of these teams can. That's what, Miami's 3rd miss with field goals? Yeah, their 3rd miss. They're 1 of 4 on field goals. A&M is 0 of 1. Neither team's really punted all that well. Neither team's really moved the football all that well. What a crazy turn of events. Wow. My, oh my. It is insane. Whew. We're only 12 likes away, guys, from 100 likes, so please like the stream, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, no team is having tremendous success right now offensively. No team is really doing anything offensively, if we're being honest. Miami is still favored to win, though. Wow. So A&M will have it 1st and 10 at their own 17. Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Yeah, still not much to talk about. Just both special teams units have had their own gaffes. Miami's kicker can't make a kick to save his life, though I don't necessarily blame him because of the wind. Merry Christmas, Strayer. Thank you for coming on the channel. Whew. This is so insane. My A&M has it 1st and 10 at their own 20 now. Let's see what they can do offensively, if anything. You know, read through that pass. He's got to feel pretty good that, you know, nothing really happened from that pass. But we'll see if his confidence is still there or not. They try to run it, and they only get a gain of 3. Maybe even just 2. So it's going to be 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. Yep, they're going to call it 2nd and 7. Neither team running too well, but Miami doing a better job at it for sure. They're going to try to hand it off again. And they get a good run. It's going to be 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. There's a nice rush by Ruben Owens II up the middle for a gain of 6. We're now over halfway through the 3rd quarter, and the score is 3-0 Miami. Let's see if A&M runs this. I imagine they do. They have a, blocker in there. They are going to pick up that 1st down. About a gain of 3. Get out to the 32. 3 runs in a row and a gain of 12 yards, average of 4 yards per carry. And it looks like number 8's going to have to go off the field, Le'Veon Moss. He looks like he's a bit banged up, and he's mad about it. .520 left, 1st and 10. It's going to be a play action for Reed. Reed is going to have to take off with his legs, and a beautiful tackle. I think that's a sack, right? Like a 1-yard sack by Keontae Scott, who has already had like a sack today. It's his 2nd sack of the day. Brilliant. He was there as a QB spy, either in a zone or a QB spy, and he just took him down right then and there. It's going to be 2nd and 11. Now the pressure's got to be on both of these teams. We're getting closer and closer to the clock hitting 0. I know we still have a lot of time left, but still. You're behind the chains if you're A&M. What do? They're going to try to pass again. It's another blitz. Reed is going to try to get it to the sidelines, and that is going to be 3rd and 4. 7-yard pass, and Elko is furious about his player being body slammed. furious. And I get it. That looked like it could have been a late hit out of bounds. But, yeah, no. As he started to throw it, yeah. That's not quite an illegal hit, I don't think. But it is 3rd and 4. It's a nice out. It was a nice dump off. 3rd and 4, very manageable, but Reed is immediately under pressure, and he has to throw it away. So A&M's going to have to punt. another punt. Another punt for these teams. How many rushing yards does Reed have? That's a good question. Let me tell you. Marcel Reed has 26 yards rushing on 8 carries. Can they get another return? Not really. They get out to the 30. That's a nice return, but not an electric return. So that's only a 33 net yard punt. So Miami will get pretty good field position here. And we have a commercial break of 2.5 minutes. Yeah, Miami now, I think, is starting to take control. Again, it's 3-0, so you're never really in control. But Miami has definitely figured out A&M more than A&M has figured out Miami. Like, Carson Beck only averaging 5 yards per pass attempt with these conditions is not shocking at all. In fact, it's shocking that Miami's running the ball better than A&M on, like, an explosive basis. Usually, I would expect the opposite, where A&M has the more explosive runs, but Miami's better in power situations. Both teams have very poor EPA per plays. The only category where Miami is better than A&M at is the EPA per dropback, because they don't have the pick. That's really it. And Miami has done a better job of stuffing the run. But outside of those numbers, really, A&M's been winning the statistical battle. Miami's just winning the turnover battle, and they've gotten very favorable field position and have been able to cash points off of that. I think if you're Miami, you know your kicker can't make it unless it's inside 20. And even then, he missed one. So you're probably hoping for another drive where you can at least get inside the 10 and maybe cash it out with a touchdown here. I think that's what you're looking forward to. So, my goodness. Wow. Oof. Again, not much to talk about still. Both of these teams have had plenty of punts. Miami has had 4 punts. Texas A&M has now had 4 punts. A&M's missed a field goal. Miami has missed 3 field goals, and A&M's turned it over twice. So that's a pretty big deal. And keep in mind, A&M had like another fumble that they didn't lose, and Miami had another fumble they didn't lose. This has been a very ugly game dominated by defense. We're back, though. Miami leads 3-0 late third quarter. They are 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. So A&M really only had a net punt of 31 yards. It's not a very good punt. Neither team will beat Ohio State, but to answer questions in the chat, I think Miami has the better chance. Because I think Miami's defense is better. Miami is just going to hand it off to Mark Fletcher. Fletcher almost got through a hole there. He's going to get down to the Miami 44. Another good run from Mark Fletcher, 13 yards for a first down off the left-hand side. that was blocked well enough for him to find a crease and break a few tackles to get some yards after contact there. Miami is approaching 100 yards rushing. They're at 81 right now and averaging over 4 per carry. I would have never thought the score would be this low. I thought it would be low. I thought it would be in the mid-20s, upper teens for both teams, but never thought it would be like this. They're going to run it again with Mark Fletcher. He's going to get maybe a yard or two up the middle. It'll be 2nd and 9 at the Miami 45. And someone's down. I don't know who. Is it an Aggie? Yes, it is an Aggie, unfortunately. Oh, that looks like a serious injury. That's to number 17, Albert Regis, one of their interior players. Hopefully he's okay. You hate to see injuries. And with how physical this game has been, you're beginning to see the depth for both of these teams be tested. Hopefully he's okay, but he was just laying on his back there. $100 likes. Thank you, guys. Yep, the fourth quarter is looming. Hopefully Regis is okay. He's able to walk off under his own power for the most part. But his helmet's off, walking off under his own weight. I wonder if he'll come back in the game. Hopefully he is, but that was a pretty big hit that he took. Oh, hopefully he's okay. I know injuries are a part of the game, but you always hate them. Looks like A&M might bring some pressure. They are going to, but Miami got him on that screen, and with some yards after contact, they were able to get out to the 49, so it's going to be a 3rd and 5 on the Miami 49. And A&M's crowd is getting riled up. It's a loud environment. One of the harder places to play in all of college football. And here they are. Third and 5. Miami is going to try to run it. They do get past the 50 for a gain of probably 3. It's going to be 4th and 2. Do they go for it? I would punt if I were them, and it looks like they're going to punt. But we'll see. Yup, they're going to send out the punting unit. And I think they're going to take a delay of game, too. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. So, with 48 seconds left in the third, Miami is going to be facing a 4th and 7 where they're going to punt it from their own 47 and hope that their defense can hold on for dear life. TOP battle's about equal. Yardage battle is converging. Penalty battle is equal. Both teams have had 11 third down conversion attempts. Miami's 2 of 11. A&M is 4 of 11. A&M's also failed a 4th down, that being that one punt. They are going to punt it. And it's fair caught at, I think, the 14, maybe 15. 37, 30, yep, it's at the 16. 37 net punt. That's pretty good. With only 33 seconds left, I'm going to assume that they're just going to let this clock run out and then go to commercial break at the 4th. Exciting game, guys. Right? Just defense, defense, defense. Marcel Reed is under pressure, and he's going to be taken down by, guess who? Ruben Bain Jr. Big time sack, loss of 8, and Texas A&M's inside of their 10 now. I imagine A&M's not going to run another play until the 4th quarter, but you never know. That's a huge sack by Miami. Nope, they're not going to run another play. Yup, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Miami now has 4 sacks and 8 TFLs. A&M has 2 sacks and 7. So I think you're going to start to. I think Miami's probably going to get another touchdown here, and put this one away. I'm thinking on the next drive. Like Bain's had a good day. Bain has had a sack and 2 TFLs, having himself a good day. Wow. End of the 3rd. Miami is now ahead of A&M in EPA per play. Well ahead in EPA per drop back. Converging with yards per play. Their havoc rates are converging. There's a lot going on here, and it feels like momentum is in Miami's favor. Wow. That 3rd quarter was totally controlled by Miami. Let's look at the play per play in the 3rd quarter. A&M in total had 14 yards in the 3rd quarter. 14 yards throughout the whole quarter on 12 plays, barely over a yard per play. Miami, meanwhile, had 91 yards total on 17 plays. So complete dominance by the Hurricanes in that 3rd quarter. Let's see what Texas A&M is able to do, if anything, on this upcoming drive. The opposite of a shootout. The opposite of a shootout is a wrestling match. That's what you could call it. Or maybe since a wrestling match is exciting with plenty of movement, maybe the term should be an arm wrestle, where it's 2 guys, there's barely any movement, and it just comes down to who can really get the opponent to get the opponent's hand on the table. Is really all that comes down to. An arm wrestle, I think, would be the appropriate term. But, I mean, man, Miami is. It looks like they're going to win here, based on what I'm seeing, because it's not, if say Reed takes another sack or he makes a turnover here, Miami's probably going to score at some point. Just wow. After this game, Miami's defense might be viewed as better than Oklahoma's, which would be pretty crazy. But 2nd and 18 at their own 8. It is the 4th quarter, so this is crunch time now. And winner faces Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl December 31st at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Miami sends pressure. It is picked up, but he gets out to... That's actually a pretty good play. He gets out to the 24 of A&M. So that's going to be a 3rd and 3, I believe. Yeah, 3rd and 3. It's a nice pass to Ashton Bethel Roman. They can run it here and try to pick it up. 3rd and 3. Nice pass by Reed. Nice catch. Nice route in the middle of that zone. It looks like Reed is going to be out by himself, though. Could take it up the middle on a run. Could be just a quick pass. We'll see what happens here. He wants it to be a quick pass, but he is under duress. Nice throw and catch to Bethel Roman again on the sidelines to pick up that first down. And now A&M's moving the football. They have it at their own 38, 39-yard line. They are going quick. They listed at the 36. Reed back to pass. Miami is getting some pressure. Looks like he may have been held there. Justin Scott shoves him out of bounds. Just a gain of maybe 2. Going to be 2nd down and 8. 3-3. That's in play here for sure. Come on. Let's see what happens. Oh. That's going to be 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Just a 3-yard run to KC Conception. Is this 4th down territory? I mean, I don't think so with the way this game is going, but it is crunch time. If it's 4th and 1, do you decide to go for it if you're A&M? I probably would say no, but you also never know. 3rd and 5, they got Smith in the backfield there. One second on the play clock. They do get it off just in time. And Craver's able to get out of bounds for a first down on the quick pass. Looked like there maybe could have been almost a block in the back there, but nice job by Craver just getting out of bounds to pick up that first down. Another 3rd down conversion for Miami. Or not Miami, but for Texas A&M. They are going to try to hand it off. Smith gets very minimal yardage, if that. It's going to be 2nd and 7. 2nd and 8, maybe. Well, A&M is moving the football. They have a chance to take the lead here or get a field goal. They're going to have to pick up a few more first downs to even have that opportunity, though, unless they get a big play. Reed, back to pass, and KC Conception gets out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Yep, they're going to list it as 3rd and 3, I believe. So this is 4th down territory now with how this game is going. Probably run it here. See if you pick it up. If not, you go for it. Just a lot of short plays. A lot of short, quick game here. 8 plays, 38 yards, 3 minutes, 36 seconds. They're averaging essentially 4 yards per play. And they caught Miami offsides. They caught David Blay. So there's a flag there. Yep, so that converts it. Now Texas A&M's at the Miami 41. Looks like this might be a drive where they can score a touchdown. But we'll see. Right as I said, it looked like Miami was about to control this thing. They're going on a really good drive. They list that as a catch. That's a catch at the 20 for A&M. They might review it, but I think that was a pretty clean catch by Conception. So they're in the red zone now, putting a really good drive together. Oh, looks like they're going to review it. Yeah, they're going to review it. Let's see if he dropped it. Very curious to see if he dropped that pass. Going to show any replay on the TV. Oh, he did drop it. Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. I don't know why they're not showing the review on the TV. Okay, he dropped it. So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the Miami 41. Can't wait to have that delicious shawarma. What I'm going to do is I'm going to... What am I going to do? I'm probably going to, end this video, make a 10-15 minute instant reaction. Thoughts on the MSU OC hire? Don't have a ton. I'm probably going to discuss that on Monday. I'm not nearly as positive about that hire as I was retaining Rossi and bringing in Bulla and LeVar Woods. I think it's just an okay hire. Oh, that's a really good deal. I might get that instead of the Middle Eastern food then. I might go to Chipotle and wear the ugly sweater. Yeah, I don't know what's up with my congestion. This always happens when I do these streams and talk for a long time. Always happens. They reviewed it. It is a drop. They are going to try a... Oh, wow, that was... Jeez, they were trying to hit Casey Conception an out route, and Reed just overthrew it. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 41. It's another 3rd and long for A&M. Leftover grilled steak sounds so good, too. All right. 3rd and 10. 10:35 left. They get it out to about the... They're going to list it as a first down, I think. Yep, they're going to list it as a first down. That was a nice first down conversion from Reed to, I think, Ashton Bethel Roman again. Yep, he's been big on this drive. I think they're going to review it. I do think that was a first down too, but that should be reviewed. Yeah, that's a first down. There's not any indisputable video evidence unless the ball isn't across, and even then it's just 4th and inches. I think that's a first down. I don't think there's any indisputable video evidence to overturn that. Wow, this is such a close game, guys. Such a close game. Yeah, there's no evidence to overturn that. If they do, it's going to be 4th and inches, and then if you're A&M, you either QB sneak it or run it up the middle. Yep, I think it's going to be called a first down. We'll see, though. A&M is actually favored now in live betting, which is kind of like almost crazy. It's implying either A&M gets a touchdown here or they don't. They are at the 30. For rushing yards, A&M has 71 rushing yards for 2.6 yards per carry. It is 1st and 10 at the Miami 31. Reed facing just a rush of 4. And they pick up another first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 to Mario Craver at the 19. So now they're inside the red zone. It seems like they're in their bag. There is an injured Miami player down. Oh boy. That is number 99. Oh, Ahmad Moten Sr. He's one of their better players. That's a really, really serious injury. Hopefully he's okay. Ooh. Yeah, Reed's done well this drive. Like, he's really calmed down. Miami's probably going to have to dial up some type of pressure, but he's also been pressured and made good throws despite that. This is their probably longest drive of the day. A&M's now favored by 3.5 with live betting. Mario Cristobal is out there with Ahmad Moten Sr. A&M is now 7 of 14 on 3rd down, by the way. So they've converted, I think, 3 or 4 for 3rd downs on this drive here. Wonder how sustainable that is. I do wonder how sustainable that is. But they've been using out routes and short passes a lot, and the yards after contact have came from that. And maybe it will stall. I don't know. Whew. Oh. Oh, well. Yeah, now I'm starting to get tired. Can't wait for this game to end for me to do my instant reaction, and then I'm just going to go and chill out for the rest of the day and just make the instant reactions when appropriate. Okay, we're back. 9:44 left in the game. 3-0 Miami, but Texas A&M is inside the Miami red zone, driving. The over-under for this game is now down to 13.5, by the way. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And we're almost approaching the 3-hour mark on the stream. That's also crazy. Okay, 1st and 10. They're at the Miami 19. Might be a touchdown-only situation here. Could also be a field goal opportunity, but they've had a good drive, A&M and Reed have. Reed takes the snap, looking for Borkature. He is under pressure, and he is sacked. He is sacked by Miami's number 3, that being Akeem Mesidor, the other defensive end opposite of Ruben Bain Jr. And he's taken down again. So 2nd and 13 from the Miami 22. This has been a very exciting game because it's so close and has been so close. And now you're just thinking, like, is it going to go to overtime? Is A&M going to get a touchdown here? Like, every play means so much now because these teams have been so evenly matched. Reed takes the snap. They are, I think, going to try to hand it off. And they're only going to get, like, 5, I would say. It's going to be 3rd and long still. Yup, 3rd and 8 at the Miami 17. You're at least centered for a field goal, but with these windy conditions, I don't know how confident you are in making a field goal. You want to convert this 3rd down and 8. Huge drive yet again. Huge 3rd down for A&M. And for Miami, too. Oh! He dropped it. Incomplete. Incomplete pass that was dropped. Never caught it. So it's going to be 4th and 8. Miami gets their stop by getting pressure on Reed. They're going to have to send out the field goal kicking unit and hope that they can make it with 8:07 left. They're going to roll out Jared Zirkel at kicker. Wow. This is going to be a 35-yard attempt. Let's see if he makes it with the wind or if it gets blocked again. And it's good. So 3-3 is our score in Aggie land. A&M puts together a good drive, and it results in a field goal and gives their defense some time to rest. Miami's kicker missing 3 field goals is really kicking himself. Imagine if he made all of those, or just a handful of them. This is a totally different game. I don't know if we're going to overtime, though. Miami has been able to show as well early on that they've been able to move the football down. So we'll see what they can do. But wow, 8:03 left. Tight ball game. This has been, it's been something else, to say the least. all of these missed field goals. Ooh. All the missed field goals in the world. I mean, based on the fact that Bond, it was actually Randy Bond who came in, based on the fact that he made that field goal, I would favor A&M in overtime to win. Wow. This has been an exciting game, but there just isn't much to say. I mean, A&M with that long drive now has almost, they have 90 they have 94 more yards than Miami. They have about 6 minutes and 30 seconds more clock, and they have a much better third down conversion rate, and they have almost double the first downs, but they also have 2 more turnovers. So, I mean, yeah. We'll see what happens. They're going to kick this football off, and Miami will have a chance to maybe go down and get the game-winning drive. Or we'll have to see. But the Ole Miss-Tulane game is going to probably kick off a little bit later than expected, I would imagine. Or maybe maybe this game runs into Tulane Ole Miss, because we have about half the fourth quarter left and only 25 minutes until Tulane Ole Miss turns on TNT and HBO Max. And yes, Ohio State, Texas was the Cotton Bowl last year. That was the Cotton Bowl. Yeah, this wind is mean. Mean. Kickoff. It's going to be fair caught at the 1, so Miami will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25. Again, with a chance to have a game-winning drive. 3-3 right now. It is as tight as can be. There is a flag. I don't know what the flag is. Looks like it's on A&M. Yup, offsides on the kickoff. So they're going to have to kick it off again. Just back 5 yards. This time it's kicked right down the middle. Offsides didn't really do anything there. 8:03 left. Miami has the ball. 1st and 10 at their own 25. Let's see what the Canes can do. Or what the Aggies could do. Samson Ukunlola is out there at guard. So a little bit of a shake-up for Miami there offensively. They are going to hand this off to Mark Fletcher. Mark Fletcher is able to make a few guys miss, and Fletcher will get out to the 40, 41-yard line, maybe 42. That's a nice gain of 17 yards, 16 yards, and a 1st down for the Hurricanes, who now have officially crossed 100 rushing yards. The first team to do so. That was a nice hole opened up in the middle by Miami's number 52, James Brockermeyer, the center. Oh, that might be a fumble recovery for A&M. Yep, that is. Gosh, why did you have to spoil it? How are you guys ahead of me? How are you ahead of me? That's so bad. I guess I was behind. The question is, I mean, that probably is a fumble, but it looked like a really weird catch. So did he ever have possession of it? But it looks like that ball is out. Yes. Wow. Yep, that was ruled a fumble. Reed hands it off. No gain on the play. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Gets back to the Texas A&M. I think, yeah, 47. It's the 2nd and 10. Wow, what a drive for Miami. That started off really good and then just kind of faltered. 2nd and 10. This could be the game-winning drive for A&M. Reed, back to pass. He found a hole in the zone, and that's probably a 1st down. It is. And now A&M looks like they have an opportunity to cash this one in for possibly a game winner. And Reed is going to take a sack. Another sack by Miami's defense. I think that is their 6th. That's their 6th sack of the day. They have gotten after Reed over and over and over again. And now this is going to be a 2nd and 11. They've been getting some pressure, but Reed has also delivered the ball accurately on these past 2 drives in between the zone. Reed is able to sneak through and set up a 3rd and very manageable, I would say. Like a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. No, 3rd and 6. I misread the hash marks. Is this 4th down territory? Or do you trust your defense by punting it back? Got under 5 minutes left in the 4th. Third and 6 from the Miami 38. They back out of the sim pressure. Reed. And there's a hold, but he gets sacked. I'm assuming there's a hold back there. He's going to be sacked. And yep. think the penalties decline, though. Yep, sacked for a loss of 3. It's going to be 4th and 9 at the Miami 30, at the Miami 41. I assume you're going to punt here. Otherwise, you're giving Miami a really good field position. Oh, personal foul, hands to the face. And that was on the offense for ripping off the helmet, but they're going to decline it. It's going to be 4th down. 4th and 9. Are they going to go for it? They're going to go for it. They are actually going to go for it on their own, on the opponent's 41. Or they might just be trying to get them to jump off sides to then go for it. Yup. I think they're going to... Did they just take the delay? Or did they call a timeout? Yup, they took the delay. They're going to punt. Oh, wow. Miami has 7 sacks and 10 TFL. That's insane. That is crazy. Or did A&M just take a timeout? No, they're going to punt. Picked up by Malachi Tony, and Tony is able to get outside past the 10. So it's not inside the 10. It's a good punt, even better return. 4:02 left, and Miami has it at, their own 12? It's now literally a 50-50 game on ESPN's FPI. First and 10 at the 14. If you're Miami with your kicking struggles, you probably got to go 80 yards, 75 yards to get a shot at a field goal. Otherwise, you got to go 86 yards to punch it in. This is going to be tough. But Miami, they're in the pistol. I imagine they're going to try to run it here. They will. And Fletcher has a wide open hole. Fletcher is down the sidelines. Fletcher is all the way down at the 31 of Aggie land on a big run. Huge run. That is, oh my goodness, that's 36 plus 19. That is a 55-yard run. 55-yard run. That is nuts. Wow. And then just perfect blocking. Perfect blocking there. Yeah, they're down at the 30. They're going to try to run it again with Fletcher. Fletcher only gets maybe a gain of 2 or 3. Wow. That was talk about a big play. It's just been those big runs, those big outside runs have hurt A&M over and over again. They're inside the 30, not quite field goal range. You're probably going to want to pick up a few more yards before trying a field goal attempt. But we'll see what happens. They're going to run it again with Fletcher, and Fletcher's going to pick up a first down. That's huge. It's just Brockermeyer in the interior of that offensive line, Matthew McCoy opening up that Aggie defense, and now they're inside the 20. That is That's huge. That first and 10 at the A&M 16. This is Mario Cristobal football right here. Wow. That's something. Whew. The mantra of the story, depending on how this finishes, is outside runs and A&M do not mix. Do not mix. Whew. Well, we picked Miami to win. Don't know if they will or not, but right now it very much looks like they're in a position to take the lead. That's for sure. Wow. What a wild turn of events. Sheesh. All right, everyone. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because I'm going to be doing an instant reaction to this game. You'll want to hear that. You'll also want to hear my previews for the quarterfinals tomorrow and Monday when I release them. And you'll want to join our live stream Monday and Friday this coming week at noon. Have not decided if I'm going to do an additional live show or if I'm going to cancel my third because of Christmas and Christmas Eve. But do all those things. I appreciate you guys so much. This has been a fun game to watch. It's been a blast. Okay, it's 1st and 10 for Miami. They're at the 16 of A&M. Do they just run it here? I kind of feel like that's what they should do. Fletcher was able to get all the way down to the 13 or 12. So it's a pickup of 5. And it looks like A&M is burned. Yep, their second time out. They know what Miami wants to do. Miami wants to make this a game where Miami wants to end this game with their rushing offense. Sam, are you covering any other games today? No, I'm not. I'm just doing this one live. The others I'll do reactions to, but I'm not going to be doing live reactions. I'll just be doing like pretty instantaneous reactions after the clock hits 0, which I will be doing here. I will. In a bit, like after this game is over. Second and 7 is what they call it at the 13. Fletcher is going to center the field goal, but get to about the 11, maybe the 10. So it's going to be 3rd and medium. Like 3rd and 4, probably. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, I would say. You probably run it again, I would say. But Miami obviously in a very good position. Very good position. They've nearly matched A&M in yards. It's been big plays. A&M's been the more sustainable offense, but Miami's had enough big runs to be able to, like, have these scoring opportunities. Really. And when you give up 7 sacks, it's hard to win. Like, this Miami defense has performed at a very high level today. That's going to be the MVP. Third and 5 with 1:50 left. I'm anticipating that Miami's probably just going to run this up the middle and settle for 3. Is kind of what I'm thinking here. This is what college football's all about, are these big moments, these big drives, these physical rock fights. They're going to hand it off to Tony, and Tony is going to get into the end zone for a Miami touchdown on 3rd and 5. The first touchdown of the game comes with 1:44 left with an end around to Tony. A&M was totally playing inside in between the tackle run, and they get into the end zone for a touchdown. Huge play by Miami there. And that one might seal it with how this game has gone. Wow. And he more than makes up for... That's technically a pop pass, but Tony more than makes up for the fumble there. Wow. That is... Oh, boy. Well, we got yesterday wrong, but we got today right. We told you Miami would win. We told you they'd be more physical. We told you they'd win the rushing attack and defense and the pass rush, too. And they have. Wow. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Good for the Canes, man. They're going to win. This is their biggest win since 2001 when they won that national title. That's huge. It isn't over, though. Want to advise all of you on that. It's not over. It is not over. It is not over. Wow. What a final drive. And now A&M has no timeouts. 1 minute 44 seconds to get down there and score a touchdown of their own. Let's see what they can put together. Holy mackerel. What a drive by Miami. What a drive. Miami given a 96.7% chance to win, according to ESPN's FPI. Reed's going to have to be an accurate passer here. And instead he almost gets sacked. He's able to hit his receiver out of bounds for a gain of 5, but only getting out to the 30. It looked like he may have had Craver deep, but he was under duress, so he couldn't hit him down the field on the post. Should Tony have slid down at the 1? Maybe, but you, with how the kicking game is done, you also take the 7, I think. But we'll see. Maybe that turns out to be a mistake. Reed to throw, picks up the first down with a gain of 6, 1:30 left. They're going the quick game, but there is a flag. This one might be coming back. I could see OPI because they were holding down the field. This one looks like it's coming back. But we'll see. They're talking it over. Up. Roughing the passer. That's a huge penalty on Miami. Oh, that is a huge penalty. Now they're gonna... Yeah, they're gonna... Ooh, wow. Bit of a sketchy call, I would say, too. Wow. I have no idea what's going on with my internet connection, but things are, of course, I think it's because a lot of people are tuning in. They're on Miami's side now. That's wild. A&M with a real chance to score a touchdown here. Oh, he almost picked that off, and then Borkature caught it. That's a big pass. Now they're inside the 35. That was almost intercepted by Miami. Why are people spoiling it? Yeah, Zero almost picked that off. Second down with a minute left. Oh, this is huge. This is huge right there. Right here for A&M. And an incomplete pass. Trying to hit Craver. It's incomplete with 53 seconds left. It is 2nd and 1, so you probably can just run it to pick up the first down. But let's see what's going to happen. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to get a touchdown here. Can they do it? Can Miami's defense hold, or can A&M get into the end zone? They are going to run this, and they are going to pick up that first down with 49 seconds left. They're inside the 20. At roughing the passer call, I cannot state how huge that was. And KC Conception gets to the 4. Looks like we might be heading to overtime. What a drive by A&M. What a drive. Looks like they're going to tie this one up. 1st and goal with 39 seconds left. Yeah, in hindsight, I think Tony should have slid down at the 1. In hindsight, yeah. Yep, we're probably going to go to overtime here, unfortunately. They say it's an incomplete pass, 2nd and goal. Five yards to go. And I'm starving. So I do want this to be over. But I'm starving. Big hit. Incomplete pass. And apparently a Miami defender is hurt on that collision there. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5. Now A&M has 2 plays, 2 cracks to get in. Hopefully that player's okay. Number 1 for Miami is Mohamed Toure, their best linebacker. That's a big loss for them. 3rd and goal from the 5. I know for whatever reason ESPN isn't updated yet, but it is what it is. Sometimes we're just that slow. All right. Thankfully, he's off the field. Means he's okay in some regard. 3rd and goal with 28 seconds left. Let's see what these two teams do to each other. Snap. Try to hit him over the knee. And it's picked off. Picked off by Miami. And the Hurricanes are going to win it. That's the 3rd turnover of the day for A&M. And it's over. It's over. It is over. Miami has won their first playoff game in their first appearance. And A&M's going to be sent home. Oh my goodness. That's it. And we get the Ohio State-Miami rematch. The famed rematch that we've all been waiting for. Holy moly. Wow. Just he threw it in a tight window. And just what a fantastic interception by Bryce Fitzgerald. Again, the backup to Zechariah Poyser. He's had a fantastic day today. Wow. Okay. Well, that's it, guys. Game's over. So, now that the knee is down and Miami's advancing to play Ohio State, I'm going to go and do my instant reaction. So, I'll see you guys. Have a great day. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that notification bell.